Hello and welcome back to QU All Access. I'm Derek Lambert, and today we welcome our producer and director, Sarah Valkamp, back to the anchor desk.
Thank you, Derek. In this week's episode, we'll take a look at how Greek life has a positive impact on not only students,
and how we'll give you the latest on the condition of the Health and Fitness Center.
But first, earlier this semester, QU All Access showed you how Quincy received some national media attention from one of the recent shootings. It has become almost a common occurrence to hear about shootings in the news. Ryan Snyder takes a closer look at the recent spike in Quincy's crime.
Students on campus have heard about the recent shootings on and around campus in the last several months. Crime rates in Quincy have greatly risen, and the residents of Quincy have definitely taken notice. One of these recent shootings took place just across the street from Pepsi Arena on 18th and Oak. Another has made national media attention when a man who was struck by a bullet was able to give an interview just after the incident occurred. Being a small campus in a small town, this may frighten some students. According to Police Chief Rob Copley, these type of violent crimes are not random and are often due to the drug business, and they also involve either the use of drugs or alcohol. We sat down with Chief Copley to discuss these recent shootings.
Chief Copley, one of the questions that we like to ask you is there's been an influx in shootings. Why do you believe that there's been an influx? Why do you think that there's been this influx in shootings in the last few months?
Well, personally, I think it's a cultural and a generational change that we're seeing across our country. In a simplified explanation, people don't fight like they used to. They quickly go to weapons and the weapon of choice of firearms. In situations that we see where normally, somebody would get into a shoving match and then maybe go to blows, they're too quick to reach in their pocket or in their waistband and pull the firearm because one, they're available and accessible, and two, I think it's the culture, and there needs to be some sort of cultural change across the country in all communities, and Quincy is one of them.
From the Quincy Police Department at City Hall, I'm Ryan Snyder reporting.
You didn't have to look far to see a police presence right here on campus last week. On Friday, February 19th, our campus was surprised by a visit from the Quincy Police Department. Students walking around campus on Friday saw police cars as well as canine units arriving from the Quincy Police Department. This marked the first campus visit from the police department this year. QU's Director of Campus Security explains why the canine unit came for a visit.
Something that we've done for the last 3 or 4 years here at QU. It's unannounced. It's a part of a partnership that we have with Quincy Police Department, and it's part of our effort to be proactive and try to identify those locations and to at least dissuade students from doing that on campus.
On a lighter note, QU Greek life is always up to something positive. QU All Access takes a look into what going Greek means at QU and why current members hold them very close to their heart.
On Quincy University's campus, there are 4 Greek organizations: Alpha Omicron Pi, Delta Tau Delta, Phi Beta Sigma, and Phi Sigma Sigma. We sat down with Calvin Shoup from Delta Tau Delta to talk about what he gets out of Greek life and what others could.
Personally, what I've gotten out of Greek life is learning how to deal with people. The best way to find out if you're right for Greek life is to go interact with those in Greek life and see if it's a good fit for you.
We also spoke with Alpha Omicron Pi member Suzanne Molinaro to discuss why philanthropic events are so important.
Here on this campus, we want to make sure that we give back to the community and to our organizations that we give money to. For us, ours is juvenile arthritis, and for other organizations, they give money straight to them, and it's a really great process.
The Health and Fitness Center's 3-court area is now open for use by students and faculty. The courts were closed and blocked off for a few weeks due to a soccer ball which broke a sprinkler head. A QU student accidentally kicked the ball into the sprinkler, and QU has been working hard with facilities and their insurance company to temporarily repair the courts in a timely manner. The closed courts made having practice in intramural sports difficult for a lot of students and faculty.
So the courts are open now to be used. Students can come use them for whatever they want to use them for. We do have practices ongoing. Community use is back in. The courts just aren't as in good a shape as they were before, but in the short term, they are safe to use.
Davis also mentioned that the courts will have to be completely replaced on April 1st and will be fully functional by graduation. Graduation is coming up for seniors who plan to obtain their degree from QU this May. However, before this can happen, students must fill out an application for graduation by March 1st and pay graduation costs. Even if you do not plan to walk your graduation, an application must still be turned in. A late fee of an additional $100 will be applied if the application is not turned in by March 1st. Students that apply on time and take care of their financial accounts will be on a waiting list to receive additional tickets on a first-come, first-served basis. Cap and gowns must also be ordered by March 31st. If you haven't filled out an application, now is the time to do so. The application may be found on the registrar page of QU's website. Coming up, we'll see how Donald Trump is making social media waves with a recent statement again,
and how North Korea may be more of a threat than we realize. Stay with us.
The future of the program is very bright. It's an exciting time on QU campus because we have QUTV. We have a television station where students can experience working as a director, an anchor, a reporter, photographer, doing weather, doing sports. We also have a newspaper where students can report, be photo editors, be executive editors. We've got a lot of opportunity there working on the student newspaper. We also provide students with the opportunity to do magazine articles with heavy research and giving them a little bit more time to expand on articles and do some in-depth investigative work. Moving forward, it's exciting because all of the skills they learn in every avenue will translate into what we have in the future, and web writing and mobile writing and all of our distribution platforms. We have an incredible opportunity to grow the department, to grow the program, and to grow students into excellent journalists.
Yes, growing up I had one deaf friend, and that was the only deaf person I knew before coming to school here at QU. And now I regularly get to hang out and socialize with the deaf community, which has been awesome. Sign language isn't exactly like learning another spoken language because you use your body, facial expressions, your hands are your instruments. So it is definitely learning a new language. It has its own grammar and syntax and everything. It's not exactly like English like a lot of people think it is.
You had plans. A baby wasn't one of them. You feel you can't afford a baby. Not now. How will you tell your parents? Your boyfriend? Are you or someone you know facing a crisis or an unplanned pregnancy? CareNet of Quincy knows making important decisions can be hard, and you need to have information you can trust. Take a moment, stop and think. Educate yourself. You are not alone. CareNet of Quincy is here to help.
Welcome back. You may have heard the term delegate mentioned in one of our weekly presidential campaign updates.
But have you ever wondered how they decide a party's nominee? CNN's Zane Asher has a quick study in the U.S. presidential politics.
You've seen them wearing funny hats and waving signs at national party conventions.
Delegates.
Delegate.
Delegates.
Delegates.
Candidates covet them, but what exactly is a delegate? And why are they so important to the U.S. presidential race? They come from all 50 states, Washington, D.C., and every U.S. territory. Bigger, more popular states like California, Texas, Florida, and New York have more of them. For the most part, candidates win delegates through primaries and caucuses. While the rules vary from state to state, generally more votes means more delegates. This summer, thousands of delegates will come together at their national party conventions, where they declare their support for a specific candidate.
Ohio, Madam Secretary, cast all 188 votes for the president and the next president of the United States, Barack Obama.
In order to become the party's nominee for president, a candidate must receive a majority of these delegates. For Republicans, 1,237 is the magic number. For Democrats, it's 2,383. And there's an additional wrinkle for Democrats: superdelegates. These are elected officials, governors, senators, and party members. Former President Bill Clinton is a lifetime superdelegate. There are more than 700 of them, and they can vote for whoever they want.
So what we've seen happen is that Hillary Clinton has gone out and has effectively collected as many of those as she possibly can. So that's basically putting those in her back pocket even before we had one elected contest happen.
And while there is still more voting to take place, at the end of the day, it's delegates that win elections. Zane Asher, CNN, Atlanta.
There's a new Donald Trump expression, a Trumpism. The Republican presidential candidate has had a lot of quotable moments on the campaign trail, and he's been known to express his love towards many things and many people. CNN's Jeannie Moose tells us about the many loves of the Donald, including one that's gotten the attention of social media.
Donald Trump is a man in love with love, and we're not just talking about his wife, Melania.
I love my kids. I love the Bible. I love our police. The Beatles I love. And do we love our vets? I love the evangelicals.
But the Donald's latest love left some dumbfounded.
We won with highly educated. We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
Instantly, hashtag I love the poorly educated started to trend. It ended up on merchandise. It was mocked on Twitter. Make America dumb again. But Donald seems smitten with various demographics.
We won with women. I love the women.
But why stop at love?
I cherish women.
Of course there is geographical love.
We love Nevada. I love Iowa. I love Las Vegas. I love the country.
And there is passive-aggressive love.
I love protesters. And I love the New York Times. It's great.
But the kind of love that tends to worry the recipient is often followed by a but.
I love the Mexican people. I love the Muslims. I think they're great people. I love China.
But
they are ripping us.
There is one sure way to win Trump's affection.
So Kanye West, I love him because he loves Trump.
Even when the Donald expresses his devotion to a cookie.
Oreos. I love Oreos.
In the next breath, he bites back.
I'll never eat them again.
He's boycotting Nabisco because it moves some jobs to Mexico. Trump's never-ending supply of love is apparently contagious.
We love you.
I love you folks very much. We love you.
To the Donald, love is blind.
I don't know who the hell's in this room, but whoever it is, I love you.
Jeannie Moose.
I love you.
CNN.
Everybody loves me.
New York.
Everybody loves me.
I don't think Donald Trump lacks any confidence, Derek.
Yeah, he sure doesn't, Sarah. Someone should create a hashtag for that. While the U.S. is preparing for a new president, current President Barack Obama continues to fight battles of his own. Top U.S. commanders in Asia warn North Korea leader Kim Jong-un is working aggressively to develop a nuclear weapon that can reach the U.S., and he would use it, if he had to save his regime. With tensions on the Korean peninsula at their highest levels in decades, they say they fear for the erratic young dictator will spark an escalation that could lead to an armed conflict akin to World War II. CNN's Elise Labott reports.
It's a nightmare scenario. North Korea launches a nuclear-tipped missile at the west coast of the United States, and tonight it's being taken seriously by the Pentagon. A top U.S. military commander warning Kim Jong-un would be willing to order the ultimate attack if he felt threatened and had the capability.
Do you think if he had a missile that could reach the United States, he would actually use it against us?
I think that his stated purpose is to protect his regime, and if he thought his regime were challenged, he states that he would use WMD.
A dire prediction on the heels of North Korea's long-range missile launch earlier this month and what is believed to have been a test of components related to a hydrogen bomb in January. The head of U.S. forces in the Pacific echoing the concern.
They pose a real threat to Hawaii and to the west coast of the mainland United States, and soon to the entire U.S.
With tensions along the DMZ at an all-time high, the American military is flexing its muscle, flying stealth fighter jets over South Korea and deploying the THAAD missile defense system capable of shooting down long-range rockets. The display of military might has Kim vowing revenge, warning the U.S. and South Korea not to go ahead with their annual joint military drill next month. The Pentagon is focused on deterring what top intelligence officials call the world's greatest nuclear threat, but military commanders are bracing for the worst. Armed ground combat with North Korea, the likes of which the U.S. hasn't seen since World War II.
Given the size of the forces and the weaponry involved, this would be more akin to the Korean War and World War II. Very complex, probably high casualty.
Coming up, we'll take a look into next week's weather forecast.
And we'll have Evan Powell join us again for your weekly hacks. We'll be right back.
Well, my first thought was, Brother Ed has set us up. He's got someone hiding in there. They're getting ready to jump out of the curtain and scare us, but yeah, there was no one else there, and I couldn't explain it. It's just one of those phenomenon.
I've always been a skeptic, and I've always thought that there was a rational explanation for all things like that, but being there when that all happened, we didn't have a rational explanation for why that happened.
There it was. Did you hear it?
Oh my
Can I?
Oh gosh, wait, did you see that?
Welcome back. We may be in for a streak of warmer weather as the weekend rolls in.
I sure hope so, Derek. I am so ready to take my dog to the dog park. We now go to Lainey Wade for an extended look into next week's weather forecast. Lainey?
Well, the clouds rolled in this week and stuck around. It's been cold and breezy, and the weekend seems but a near dream, all that nice warm weather. But that is nothing to worry about because this weekend is going to bring us more warm weather once again. So, we'll look at Friday. And on Friday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high near 46. Now, I know it doesn't seem too warm, but just wait until we get to Saturday, because that's when we really see a warm up. As the sun comes out and we warm up to 60. Oh, I bet that'll be nice. If you got anything to do, like walk your dog, then that is the perfect day to do it. Or you can wait till Sunday, where we do have clouds, but the high reaches a high of 64. So it's going to be a really nice weekend. Once again, all temperatures in the mid-60s. Can't complain. So looking farther into the week, let's see if we can keep it going. On Monday, the sun's going to be out, and the high is going to reach 57. Now, we do see a little bit of drop in temperature as we go towards the end of the week, but that's all right. Because on Tuesday, you will need to get your umbrella out because it is going to be raining with the high near 54, and at least it's rain and not snow. And we do see a chance of snow here on Wednesday, but with the high being 43, I don't see much of a chance of it sticking to the ground. And then on Thursday, if there is any snow on the ground, then the sun will be out to melt it, and our high will reach 35. So beautiful weekend. So if you're going to go out and do something like the polar plunge was on Saturday, get out there and enjoy it. It's going to be 60. Can't really complain about that. So that wraps it up for this Weekly Hawks forecast. I'm Lainey Wade. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Lainey. While we may be experiencing calmer weather this week, other parts of the U.S. have not been so lucky. CNN's Andrew Spencer reports.
From Pensacola, Florida to Garland, Texas, parts of the southeastern United States are recovering from severe storms and tornadoes.
I'll tell you what, for 30 seconds, it was like a nightmare.
And it was so sudden.
The National Weather Service says it received 27 reports of tornadoes touching down across the area.
You see that?
Oh my God.
People inside this Louisiana gym watched as the storms peeled off the roof.
When the weather gets so bad, the roof of your gym and the wall just blows off.
Elsewhere in the state, a field of debris is all that remains of these 160 motorhomes and trailers.
I just knew that it was a tornado. I was crying and I was so scared. I mean, the house would not stop shaking the whole entire time. I mean, it was terrible.
Louisiana's governor traveled to the damage site and declared a state of emergency for 7 parishes. In Florida's Panhandle, a twister demolished apartments, flipped cars, and downed trees.
We didn't even have time to grab a flashlight or anything, just run and just panic.
As the weather system moves up the East Coast, forecasters predict the Carolinas and Virginia will get the worst of it. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
It's time again for the QU All Access Weekly Hacks.
Reporter Evan Powell joins us in the studio for the latest. Evan?
Hey everyone, I'm Evan Powell with another dose of your QU hacks to make life a little easier, one hack at a time. For a college student, bringing the right amount of clothes to school for a semester can be hard to determine, but reorganizing your closet for more space can be a lot easier than you think. One effective way to reorganize and to find out what clothes are necessary is actually right in front of you. You can use your coat hangers to help you with this trick. Simply rearrange your hangers to face the outside of your closet. Once you get finished with an article of clothing, face the hanger to the inside like you would usually do. And after a month or so, whatever clothing you did not wear, you should consider donating or taking back home. If it's hard for you to save money and you're always wondering how to make some extra cash, then this next hack is for you. This hack has been around for a long time, but not many students use it to their advantage. This hack came from lifehacker.com. If you give this hack a try, you should make a sum of cash that you may usually throw away. All you need is a jar or a container and loose change. Just start collecting your loose change and put it into a container until it gets full. You'll be surprised when you see how much you've saved. You can then go to Walmart to use a Coinstar machine or to a local bank. This hack comes from moneytalksnews.com. Thanks for watching this week's hacks. Make sure to tune in next week for more, exclusively on QU All Access. Back to you, Sarah and Derek.
Thanks, Evan. Coming up, we'll take a look at what to expect from the softball team this season.
And we'll get the latest on upcoming games. Stay with us.
Come support your Quincy University baseball team this season. They'll also compete in the NCAA Division II Great Lakes Valley Conference. Cheer them on as they play for a conference and national championship.
Come see the new renovations at QU Stadium. The turf infield gives the Hawks a great playing surface.
Come out and have some fun and support the QU Hawks baseball team this season.
For more information on the QU Hawks baseball team, go to QUHawks.com and click on the Sports tab and select Baseball.
QUTV is more than a news outlet.
1 in 5 undergrads work at least 35 hours a week, year-round.
Students involved with QUTV learn life lessons, create lasting memories, and gain the experience needed to succeed in future careers.
Students need to be involved with QUTV as a viewer or as a participant because we need to know what's going on around our campus.
Knowledge is powerful, and QUTV News serves to inform not only the students, but the Quincy University community as a reliable and powerful news network. Welcome back. We are now joined with sport anchor Carly Betancourt for the latest on sports.
That's right. What do you have for us this week, Carly?
Well, Derek, with the sudden coaching change, the Quincy University softball team is looking for a fresh start with the addition of some new faces as well.
Quincy University softball team is looking forward to an exciting year. The sudden coaching change, the team had to adapt to a new philosophy.
This year, our team's been great with adapting to situations really quickly. We've had quite a few situations where we've had to been thrown into things, and we've done a great job of adapting to our new coach, and she's awesome, and we all love her.
The team holds high expectations for this season and looks forward to what's to come.
Individually, I hope to, just step up, be a really good leader for this team. Like I said, we're young and we've got a lot of potential. For the team, we've got a very versatile team. You know, we've got so many people that can play in so many positions. So it's pretty great knowing if you're having a bad day, there's someone ready to step up right behind you. So I see a lot of potential coming out of that.
With new faces and a solid senior leadership, the Lady Hawks are excited to see what this season has in store for them. With QU All Access, I'm Carly Betancourt. The swim team capped off their season with a strong finish. Placing 8th overall in the GLVC, both the team and coaches were pleased with their finish.
The 2015-2016 swim season started off really well. We really went from not having any expectations of what the program was going to be like to winning dual meets, competing against great Division I, II, and III programs, and coming away with victories throughout the year.
The Lady Hawks came away with 19 school records, 5 top 8 relay finishers, and 7 top 16 individual finishes. Coach Snyder was proud of her girls and how they competed. Her goal is to build off this season and work to become a full program by 2019. Now we move on to this week's upcoming games.
Baseball will be playing in Nashville, Tennessee against Tribeca Nazarene on March 26th. The games will begin at 6 p.m. and will stream live stats where you can go to QUHawks.com for that streaming. Men's volleyball will also play that day against Morningside at Pepsi Arena at 7 p.m. Moving on to the weekend, men and women's track and field will participate in the weekend in the GLVC Indoor Championship, while baseball plays Wayne State in Nashville on the 27th. Women's tennis plays that day against COE with the live video of that game starting at 1 p.m. Men's basketball, women's golf, softball, baseball, and men and women's tennis also have games next week. For a full calendar of all sporting events, please visit QUHawks.com.
Thanks, Carly. Coming up, we'll have Sarah's producer video pick of the week. Stay with us.
Join me, Coach Marty Bell, head basketball coach of the Quincy University Hawks, live from Chicks on the River every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. or on ESPN 1440 for the Coach Marty Bell Show. Hear from our coaches and players as Ben and I recap the previous games and preview our upcoming opponents. Grab your friends and family and come out to Chicks on the River for a great meal and meet the Hawks. QU men's basketball, Chicks on the River, and ESPN 1440, a winning combination. And as always, it truly is.
Welcome back. It is now time for the producer-picked video of the week.
That's right, Sarah, and I'm sure this is one of your favorite stories of the show. A kitten was left in a donation box, but thanks to a stranger, she has a new lease on life. CNN's Patrick Nelson shows us the furry little girl with a look made for Hollywood, or at least for YouTube.
Miss Sally Ann here was actually put in one of the donation bins at the Salvation Army downtown.
This is the story of Sally Ann, a kitten with humble beginnings, but it appears she has one heck of a mustache.
We think she's a movie star potential here with that look, or at least the next internet super sensation.
Dumped in a donation bin, it's a situation that could have killed her.
Well, the problem with that in California is that you actually have to be caught red-handed, and a lot of times it's really hard to prosecute.
But Sally Ann was saved. She was found by a Salvation Army worker who called a cat house on the King's location at the Petco on Blackstone and Ashland. Now she's getting plenty of TLC.
Tomorrow she's going to go get spayed so that she can get everything done so that she can be rehomed.
Sally Ann's rescue is happening at the right time. Animal rescues are overrun with unwanted kittens and pups at this time of year.
It's the beginning of the flood, especially for cats. Cats and kittens will start having litters. They already are.
Cat House on the Kings asks Valley residents to spay or neuter stray animals that might wander on their property. And it appears it is going to be a happy ending for Sally Ann.
So she's going to be a beauty the rest of her life, and especially given the right kind of care. And that face is remarkable. It's unforgettable. Miss Sally Ann here was actually
getting the nutritional and medical care she needs, and Sally Ann should be ready for adoption within days. That kitten was just too cute. On the topic of pets, are you guys dog people, cat people? What are you thinking?
I have a cat and a dog, but I like dogs.
All right, I think I'd go more cats, just, a little more low maintenance. Don't really have to, play with them all the time.
Yeah, but I like a dog because I feel like he's dependent on me, and so I can, give him all my love.
Yeah, I'm definitely a dog person because my favorite thing to do is just cuddle with my dog at night, and that's what, like I said earlier, with the weather, I'm ready to take him to the dog park and see all the other little dogs.
Oh, jeez. Thank you all for joining us in this week's episode of QU All Access. Remember to tune in online on Facebook or Channel 97 on campus for more news anytime. For the entire QU All Access team, I'm Derek Lambert.
And I'm Sarah Valkamp. Thank you all for watching, and until next week, Hawks, keep soaring high.